Are you finding it difficult to get a US visa? Well, you're not alone. With Trump in office, things are moving at a fast pace. Today, we are going to break down the latest visa reforms in the US in a way that makes sense. If you are planning to study in the US or if you're already there, then these reforms could impact your future. So let's get started.
I love data. It resolves misinformation. Let's talk to experts, analyze news, and smartly plan your study abroad journey.
Hello aspirants, welcome to Videshi Chai. The process for visas has always been difficult, and this time things are getting a tad bit challenging with the enhanced visa vetting process. In simple terms, candidates will have to go through background verification, adding to the already long visa verification process. Now, the students might have to provide additional documents like social media history, financial details, travel history, etc. So what can the students do? Now, everybody likes an early planner, so it's always better to apply early to avoid delays. Make sure you have a hold of your documents beforehand to avoid any last-minute runs to the government offices. Be prepared for detailed questioning during the visa interviews. Ensure consistency in the documents. Make sure your details are the same throughout the documents to avoid any confusion. Use platforms like GD Connect to connect with older students whose visa was approved or even rejected in the past to get a better hold of insider information. Now we talk about H1B visa modifications. As most of you would know, an H1B visa is a non-immigrant visa that lets US employers hire foreign employees in specialty occupations for a maximum of 6 years. Every year, around 85,000 H1B visas are up for grabs. Out of those, 65,000 are for general applicants and 20,000 are reserved specifically for students who have earned a master's degree from US. With the new H1B Modernization Rule from the US Department of Homeland Security, things are changing, and not necessarily in a bad way. First, companies now have to pay higher wages if they want to hire international talent. That means more competition and stricter eligibility, especially if you are a non-STEM grad. So if you are in a field like journalism, marketing or liberal arts, you'll have to work a bit harder to stand out. But there's some good news too. The definition of specialty occupation just got a major upgrade. It's no longer limited to having just one specific degree tied to the new job. Now, employers can look at a range of related fields and see if your background matches the role. Now, for example, you studied economics but want to work in data analytics. That could still qualify as long as you build your case right. If your career path doesn't perfectly line up with your degree, that's okay. But now more than ever, you've got to focus on profile building through internships, certifications, projects, and of course, networking. Now, but don't worry. Here is a list of things that you can do. First, network and get in touch with companies who are willing to sponsor visas. Second, build your profile and add relevant internship experiences to stay ahead of the others. Now, if nothing works out, consider alternative visa options such as O1, L1 or even EB2. Now we'll talk about DS-160 form updates. The DS-160 online non-immigrant visa application is a mandatory form for individuals seeking temporary entry into the United States. In the past, candidates were allowed to schedule their interview before filling the form, which frequently resulted in scheduling problems and unnecessary delays. As per the updated policy, visa applicants must fill and submit the DS-160 form and then make the appointment. And that's not it. They should also ensure that the barcode number on the DS-160 confirmation page matches the one used to schedule their appointment. So what happens if the numbers don't match? Well, then you're in trouble. If the numbers don't match, applicants will not be permitted to appear for the interview and will be required to reschedule their appointment through ustraveldocs.com using the matching DS-160 barcode number. So make sure to, number 1, fill out the form and submit it on time. Number 2, double check the form details before submission. Number 3, make sure that the barcode on the DS-160 matches the one used to book the visa appointment. Number 4, gather all the necessary documents such as your valid passport, visa fee receipt, and supporting documents specific to your visa category before you fill out the form. Next, we'll talk about the reform in Dropbox process. The Dropbox process, also known as the interview waiver program, lets applicants renew their visa without an in-person interview. Previously, the process let you renew your non-immigrant visa that had expired within the past 48 months. But now, the eligibility window has been shortened to 12 months. Those who do not fall under this eligibility criteria will have to go through the tiring in-person interview process, which hints at a risk of rejection given the latest improved visa vetting policies. Here are certain things that you can do to avoid trouble. Number 1, if your visa is about to expire, start the renewal process as soon as possible. Get your documents ready and prepare for the in-person interview. Strengthen your visa application by showing a solid financial profile, proof of strong ties with your country, and your intentions in the US. Next, we'll talk about the fixed duration of stay for F1 and J1 visas. Previously, international students could stay in the US for as long as their academic program lasted. However, the new rule proposes a fixed time limit. For students, it means that if your course takes a longer period than your visa validity, then you may need to apply for an extension, which takes us back to square one, the increased scrutiny. Hence, the extension approvals are not guaranteed. You might have to leave the US and reapply from your home country. But here are a few things that you can do. First, make sure to complete your program on time. Second, apply for extensions early if you feel like you need extra time to complete your course. We know that these changes might feel overwhelming, but being informed is the first step in making the right decision. So what visa troubles are you facing? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. For more updates on overseas studies and immigration policies over a cup of chai, subscribe to Videshi Chai. See you in the next video.